Namo Namaste Gurave Mahatmane Vimukta Sangaya Saduttamaya Nityadvayananda Rasaswarupine Bhumne Sada Paradayam Budhamne Namaste Namaste Vibho Vishwamurte Namaste Namaste Chidanandamurte Namaste Namaste Tapo Yoga Gamya Namaste Namaste Shruti Jnana Gamya Namaste Namaste Tapo Yoga Gamya Namaste Namaste Shruti Jnana Gamya. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru Jai. So, in the last satsang I announced that we will do Mundakopanishad. Not all the shlokas may be selected. Now, in starting Kathopanishad, certain introductory portions I did not mention because they often in so many other lectures I have been mentioning, others also have been mentioning. But I thought we will, because we are going to start with a very important Upanishad, I thought a little introduction will be necessary, will be good. As you all know, that Upanishad, that word can be analyzed in various ways. The etymology can be various. That most accepted version is Upanishad. That is, Upa means nearness, closeness. Upaveshana, when we say we sit near Upasana. Upasana, why? Upa-asana, that means we sit near God. So it is the close proximity of God. So Upa means close association. Ni, this Sanskrit ni, it can mean two things, Nishchayena or Nishchayeshena. It can mean other things also, here these two. Nishchayena means certainly, with absolute certainty. Nishchayeshena means absolutely, without leaving any remnant, leaving any reminder. Completely. And Shad, it has come from Sad Dhatu. Because of the Ni, it becomes the Murdhna Shad. Those I am not going into. It is coming from Sad Dhatu, which means depletion, which means attenuation, depletion, kshaya. So, altogether it means is that by coming close to which, by the closeness of which, that something, they have not mentioned that we have to understand. What gets depleted, certainly and completely gets removed, is the worldliness. So Upanishad means that worldliness word is not mentioned there. It is only saying Upanishad, means by coming to the close association of this Shastra, something will be completely and certainly removed or depleted. So what will be depleted? Naturally the Upanishads are speaking only about the truth. Unless the worldliness goes from us, that is the truth about the multiplicity which is ingrained in us from birth. We have to understand the reality is the consciousness, the Atma or Brahman, one in which the infinite variety is only appearing to be. Just in the cinema you are seeing it's only one light which is being used, and so many stories, so many things. We get scared, we start crying, we start laughing. All these things are happening. It is just a light, display of light. It is like that, the world also. So it means that the worldliness gets completely removed or depleted, attenuated by coming close to the Upanishads. That is why they are called Upanishads. Now, what is this Mundaka? Mundaka generally refers to, it means shaven-headed. Mundaka means shaven-headed. So, one way of understanding it is meant for the sannyasins. That is, those sannyasins are shaven-headed, so it is meant for the sannyasins. And it is true that sannyas is very much emphasized, and the meaning is also very much elaborated in this Upanishad. Now, the other way of understanding it is that whether one is a sannyasin or not, the one whose hairs are removed, that means hairs are considered to be useless elements, the worldliness. So once the hairs are removed, he will have clear vision. Of course, it doesn't mean that by removal of our hair we become clear-headed. Clear-headed, yes, physically, not in the mind. Not only that, I did not have to remove much hair after sannyasa. My hairs had already fallen before that. But it doesn't mean that the mind was freed of all the worldliness. This reminds me, it's a little out of the way, but suddenly the story came to me. When we were in the hostel, in studying BSc in St. Xavier's College, Calcutta, we were staying in the hostel where many various things used to happen. I have told in my reminiscences, but I did not tell this. I have told so many things in reminiscences. So there were two boys who were quite humorous in their ways. So one boy was saying that generally Sundays we used to shave our beard, and one boy was saying that when I cut my beard, when I shave off my beard, I feel very sorry that, they have been part of me. They have grown out of me. They are part of me. I am simply cutting them off every now and then and throwing them away. The other boy hearing that said, you feel like that. I feel just the opposite. What is it? We asked, what is it? He said that I feel that I have eaten so many things, the costly fruits, dry fruits or milk or so many sweets, good things I have been eating. And what is coming out of that, all those good things, is this shabby hair. Hey, go, get away. So I remove them and throw them off. Two way of looking at it. So worldliness also is like that. To some people it is very, worldliness means they want to enjoy life. When they say enjoy life, means they want to enjoy the worldliness. And for others, the worldliness becomes absolutely the stumbling block, so to be thrown. Actually, worldliness, the world cannot be thrown, and the world is only meaningful. Without that, where are the Shastras? Where is the Vedanta? Nothing is there. And it's the objective world which makes us look at the truth, look into ourselves. Without that, would we have ever looked into? And who will look into? Our body, mind, personality, everything is part of this world. So we have to understand in depth what is meant. So Mundaka means it is meant for the sannyasins, or it is meant for removal of worldliness. That is again emphasized. So Mundakopanishad, the whole word means that coming close to this Upanishad, our worldliness, we will be able to get rid of the worldliness. As Swamiji told you several times in his in his narration that Mundakopanishad was the first book he came across. He told Baba that I don't want to read anything, I will only do the sadhana given by you. And he was meditating. The Baba said that you don't have to read the book, but the book will come to you when you need. And that is why how it happened. He found the Mundakopanishad on his table. There is no magic involved here. It took place in the proper way. Somebody, his brother or somebody might have brought the book and kept it. When I say that it just happened, book arrived, don't think that it came from the wind. But there is a non-magical spiritual element there. That saying that the book will arrive means book arrived. But according to the laws of nature, the laws of nature were controlled by this supreme spiritual will or intelligence. That is what happens. In fact, when we start doing spiritual sadhana in all earnestness, the whole life becomes magical in a way. Things just simply go on happening. Why? Because by withdrawing the mind from this variety, the clutch of the variety, the mind becomes in harmony with the fundamental laws of nature. So suppose you have to meet somebody, there is a necessity, you will find that the person arrives and you don't have to travel to go and meet. Some book necessary, you will find that you have gone to the library, the book is lying on the table, you will get it immediately. The mind, generally our mind is very much spread out. It is not convergent, it is divergent. So we don't get in touch with the real things easily. When the mind becomes convergent and our focus is only on the real things, you will find whatever you need will come to your focus, will come to you. So there is a great spiritual life. When I said that there is no magic, this is the magic involved. That when we take to the spiritual law, our mind becomes absolutely harmonious with the more and more we take to it, more and more the mind becomes harmonious with the fundamental spiritual laws of nature. And whatever we want, everything gets fulfilled. It comes in its own way. So this was the first Upanishad Swamiji had got, and he started reading, and that brought out a revolutionary transformation in him. Some of the shlokas particularly. So it definitely has a great importance amongst the Upanishads. Moreover, this Mundakopanishad belongs to Atharva Veda. There are 4 Vedas: Rig, Sama, Yajuh and Atharva. Atharva is the last one. This Mundakopanishad and Prashnopanishad, which we have not taken, they belong to this Atharva Veda. There are many others. There are 28 Upanishads in Atharva Veda. Amrita Bindu, Brahma Bindu, Sannyasa Upanishad, many are there. If you want the name, I don't have it here. 28 Upanishads are there. Of that, Shankara has interpreted Prashnopanishad and more elaborately Mundakopanishad. So why did he select Mundakopanishad? That question also is often asked. That why did Shankara select? Altogether Shankara has interpreted 10 plus 1, they say. The 10 Dashopanishad, those are the main, and Shvetashvatara also, which is not in the 10. In Atharva Veda he has interpreted this Mundaka and Prashna, of which Mundaka has got much greater importance, and he has done very elaborate bhashya on this. Now, why Mundaka out of it? Out of all? Perhaps it is very much harmonious with Shankaracharya's purpose. When he came on this earth, our society was suffering from some troubles. One was that too much of karmakanda. Karmakanda means the Vedic rituals, yaga, yajna, following those. And for what? With lot of desire for desire for heaven, desire for other things. There was also, as we understand from Shankaracharya's life story, that black magic kind of things also were there. Kapalikas who wanted the head of Shankaracharya for his puja. So we have to join all of them to understand the society. This I have told earlier also, during Buddha's period, during Shankara's period. From the stories available and from whatever they have done, we can understand what was the society to some extent. So there was the ritualistic Vedic practices, too much chaining people, so to say. This has to be done, that has to be done. If you do this, then that will happen. If you don't do this, then you will go to the hell, then you will be tortured like this. If you go do this, then you will go to the heaven, and there you can enjoy like this, like this. Nothing is seen, no rationality, nothing. You have to follow whatever is told, and so many bricks you put, you do this, you do that, and chant these mantras, then that will happen. And you can never verify, because immediate, nothing, those results were not immediate. They will, most of them will happen only after the body falls. So nobody can verify also. Now there is nothing wrong in it, that I must say. When I am saying that, the ritualistic part of the Vedas, even now it is there, it has not been thrown away. Why? Because it had a good purpose. Suppose left to ourselves, we should always know that as long as our mind is polluted, we will do wrong things. The mind has to be purified. People say that in the name of dharma, in the name of religion, not dharma, in the name of religion, so much of killing has taken place in the world. So is religion good or bad? This question is absolutely wrong. That religion has nothing to do with the killing of people or himsa, so to say. If religion was not that, they would have picked up something else. For bhasha, how much of killing has taken place in Bangladesh and between Bangladesh and Pakistan? The worst genocide of the world has taken place in Bangladesh because of the bhasha difference. Like that, territorial difference, bhasha difference, racial difference, all these things. The question is whether our mind is hosting himsa or not. As long as our mind is hosting violence, nothing can be done to remove violence. It will take in one form or other form depending on what path it is taking. So religion is a strong faith of people, and where rationality is generally not applied. Even people say that our religion tells us to kill people, and they kill people, and that nobody questions. So we have mortgaged our intelligence, that we mortgage otherwise also. So the religion takes that occasion to fool us and bring us to the right path, at least not doing all the things, path of hurting others, etc. So this yaga, yajna, etc., they are designed in a manner that they will, to perform that, so much of concentration, so much of purity, everything has to be, the food discipline, daily discipline, so many things are there, that your life will automatically become discipline. And those days people did not have so much of industry or other things to do. Even films were not there. So if our mind is not given to something, then it will do only the harmful things. It will be given to harmful things. So the Vedic practices, they went a long way to bring people on the path of non-hurting, on the right path, or not doing wrong things in the society. So they were all for the correction of the society. That is a part of it. And if you do exactly according to the prescriptions given by the Vedas, then you have to undergo so much of discipline, so many practices, discipline, purity, etc., and austerity particularly, that your mind will automatically become a little more pure, if not little, but much more pure. Not only that, at the end of each of the yagas, particularly the big yagas which rajas or rich people used to perform, you have to give things profusely. So much that if you have gold in your palace or in your house, that all the gold should be given off, and you will start eating in stone vessels or earthen vessels. It was like that. And Kalidasa has written about Ikshaku Vamsha kings also. That when he has given off everything and sadhu has come and he is welcoming him with earthen pot, water in earthen pot. So it means that why it was given, that you have to give profusely, because our mind, the greatest problem our mind is, it is suffering from constriction, it is suffering from karpanya. As Bhagavad Gita is also saying, karpanya dosha. It is not only regarding wealth or riches, it is karpanya, the miserliness, the constriction, the narrowness, the limitation. This is there in all respects. We cannot even praise another person lavishly, liberally, joyfully, cheerfully. If somebody else praises, even our friend also, we feel that, oh, I have also those qualities. These are all miserliness we are hosting in our mind. So they have to be, those knots have to be removed, untied. Those constrictions, limitations have to be removed. So this dana and giving of all your property, and as you have heard in Nachiketa while we were discussing about Vajashravas, who was not able to give the good things but giving wrong things, the best dana one could give is a good son. That is his own son, nobody is ready to give. So if he gives his good son in charity to somebody else, that was considered a great dana, which will compensate for all other wrong danas done. So, that was a Vedic practice, that after the ritualistic part of it, you have to liberally give. There are many stories, if you go into it, you will find that the story of the Nevla, that, what do you call it? The porcupine, no? Mongoose, that he was rolling in the yajna ash, and there was no change in the body. He said that in another place I had rolled and my half of the body became golden. So I am rolling here thinking that if this yajna is also so virtuous, my other half of the body will get golden. But nothing has happened here. That means the Raja has done the yajna not in the proper manner. All these stories are there, beautiful stories are there for us to understand. Now, so they have their value in restricting, in bridling people to live on the right path. But what happens is that whenever the intelligence is mortgaged and we are given to blind faith in something, then the whole society finally is led to a wrong path. Because everybody is chained by this blind faith, and many wrong things creep in there, till somebody who has not mortgaged his intelligence arrives in the society and relieves the people of the chains. In Rabindranath's some story, it is there, Achalayatana, that they were religious practitioners. They would remain in the high-walled city of their own. They won't know anything happening outside. It's an allegorical story. So, Shankaracharya, seeing the society, the corruption in the society, he understood by his sadhana, which he got from Govindapada, which he got from the Shastras, from the Upanishads, by understanding the Upanishads from the Guru Parampara, Govindapada's Guru, Gaudapada. Through all these things, when he understood the truth, when he realized the truth, he found that man is absolutely free. But what is happening? The whole society believes that they are all bound. Bound by what? By the Vedic rituals and Vedic acharas, that means practices, and some laws in the society, that they don't have any freedom at all. Whatever is spoken, and if anybody walks the other way, what he used to be done, we don't know. If anybody walks the other way, he will be completely out. What is it called? Society se bahar kar dena. Banished, na? Ostracized. So, his main idea was to interpret the Upanishads and present this greatness of the Upanishads, that it is meant for freedom and not to bind people by the chains of achara, chains of rituals and blind faith, telling them of the Svarga, Naraka and all other things which are not verified by anybody at all. So, what he did for that is he took to Brahma Sutra, which is a very rational presentation of the same spiritual concept, of the Vedantic concept. It is a rational presentation, and there, whichever Upanishadic statements appear in Brahma Sutra, he has focused on those statements. So, in some places, Brihadaranyaka statement has appeared in Brahma Sutras. So, he had to know Brihadaranyaka very well and interpret that, because it is supporting Brahma Sutras. In some places, Mundakopanishad has appeared, even Prashnopanishad has appeared. So, wherever the Upanishadic statements have appeared in the Brahma Sutra, he focused on those, and those Upanishads he had written the Bhashya. Why am I saying so much about Shankaracharya? Because we should remember, we should know that without his Bhashya, these Upanishads would have gone down the sea. We would not have known anything. It is only because of his Bhashya that we are able to understand everything. He has recovered the whole thing and put them in a proper manner with a proper interpretation and all. We can always compare with our experience what he has written and understand the Upanishads properly. So, Shankara's purpose was twofold. One is to emphasize the rational foundation of Vedanta by basing his interpretations on the Brahma Sutras, which was rational, and interpreting those Upanishadic statements which appear in the Brahma Sutras. The second point he had was the Vedic practitioners. They were completely bound by the acharas, the ritualistic rules which were given to them. Even the interpreters, like we say Mimamsakas, they used to say that whatever is written in the Upanishads, it's all eulogy. There is nothing called that kind of a knowledge the Upanishads speak about. This knowledge is those who cannot do anything, khanja pangu, lames and invalid people, they only take to knowledge because they cannot do the karma kanda, they cannot practice any other thing, they cannot do anything else. They have become absolutely invalid. So for them is the knowledge. So much strong criticism was there against the Upanishadic knowledge, which we are now presenting with so much of importance and fanfare, so to say. I again remember a story. Earlier, lot of sannyasins, wanderer sannyasins used to visit our ashram. They would stay for 1 or 2 days. Some talks will take place. Now, many of these people, they were Naga sannyasins. Naga sannyasins means those who are given to more of physical practices. And those who have gone to the Kumbh Mela and all, they would know. They have their own akhadas from there. They are trained and they generally give lot of importance on the physical practices. Now, about this Naga sannyasis, there are 2 stories. We cannot sit very far back. Some people say that they are also instituted by Shankaracharya to protect our dharma. Another story which is perhaps more believable we have seen is that during Akbar's time, that is somewhere in 15th, 16th century, our sannyasins who used to move around in Himalayas and all, they were being killed by the Muslim fakirs. There was attack on them. So that was the time of Madhusudana Saraswati. Madhusudana Saraswati is the writer, author of, what is that called? The names all I forget. One of the, that higher Prasthanatraya, all words are not coming. Naishkarma Siddhi is our Sureshwaracharya, the other one Advaita Siddhi, and many other books also he has written. So Akbar's minister Birbal was very much an appreciator of Madhusudana Saraswati. So when this was happening, it seems Madhusudana Saraswati asked Birbal that, why don't you ask the emperor to do something about it? Our whole culture is preserved by the sannyasins, and they are generally wanderers. So if the fakirs kill them, then our culture will not be protected. So there is a problem here. Why don't you present it before the emperor Akbar? So Birbal, it seems, presented the case to Akbar, and Akbar suggested that, see, in this case, from rule by the ruler, we cannot do anything, because these are happening all around in the forest and everywhere. It can only be protected, you ask Madhusudana Saraswati to create a band of sannyasins who will fight back the fakirs. So it has to be, it is a physical attack, it has to be fought back also physically. You cannot preach to them Vedanta. So it seems Madhusudana Saraswati instituted the Naga sannyasins of, they also have the same kind of titles as we have, Puri, Giri, etc. And they were to protect our sannyasins and our spiritual culture, and they did it, is what is understood. Now by that, these akhadas became very prominent in our country, and even now also when there is a threat to our dharma, to our spiritual culture, these are the people who can give their life to protect our dharma. In Kumbh Mela, they are giving the first opportunity to the first, they will take bath in the Ganges and wherever Kumbh Mela is taking place. So some Naga sannyasins like that used to come and stay for a few days in our ashram. The problem is that they used to have some smoking habits, maybe sometimes it is narcotics also. They generally move around all over in the forest, those practices will be there. So here Swamiji used to tell that please don't smoke anything, because here the society is not like that, and those who are working for us also, they will speak bad about you and bad about the ashram also if people like you stay here and smoke these things. Even smoking cigar also. So this went around, whatever is the case. This is a very interesting kind of a postal system we have, much more efficient than our Indian post and telegraph. Whatever we will tell or will be expressed, you will find that all over India the sannyasis know about it. So when we were welcoming the sannyasis, everybody from Gujarat to Himalayas to Rameshwaram, people would come and they would know. Such a small cottage ashram we had, 2-room cottage was here and some other buildings were there. They used to come. How? Listening from somebody somewhere on their path. They were moving around. So the information will be shared. And when this information was given that here you cannot smoke, if you smoke then we cannot allow you to stay, that also went around. Now they cannot hold smoking, they are given to smoking. So they thought that we will not trouble Swamiji by staying here. So they started coming and taking some bhiksha and then go back. They would not spend the night here. Now also it continues like that, except some rare cases. These are all very interesting. Because we are in the ashram, we come to know, and whenever such people come, when we talk to them, we come to know so many things happening in our country. So twice I have met Naga sannyasis like this who came here, and many have come. Two of them have openly said that this knowledge practice is not for the Nagas, it is only for the useless people. He openly told them, seeing that we are practicing, we are following the Shastras and all, they would listen to whatever is taking place. He said, वो जिनका जो कोई कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते हैं वही शास्त्र पढ़ते हैं. See, this is another kind of that when we mortgage our buddhi, what all things can happen. They are openly declaring that a person, a useless person who cannot do anything else, will go for reading the Shastras. So, Shankaracharya had to establish the supremacy of knowledge in the field where all ritualistic practices were going on in full force. It was all kinds of white magic, black magic also were there, and people were doing all kinds of Bali also was going on. That is during Buddha's time also, we have heard that Buddha went from ashram to ashram, moved from ashram to ashram, and everywhere animal sacrifice was taking place. So he got fed up with it. He sat under the tree and got his illumination. So these are some very low phases of our society or part of the society. In another part of the India is very big. So maybe on one part something is happening, another part it is altogether the opposite or different. So Shankaracharya had these two things in front. One is to establish the scientific rational basis of Vedanta, and the other is establishing the supremacy of Jnana over karmakanda and ritualistic practices, and free people from the chain of the rituals, chain of achara they were tied to. They were suffering under that. What are the two? One is to establish the absolute rational scientific basis of Vedanta with the help of Brahma Sutras and the corresponding Upanishads. Another was to establish the supremacy of Jnana in comparison to all other practices which were going in the name of Vedic practice or which were propagated by the Karmakanda part of the Vedas. So, some of the statements like karma mokshaya karmani, that if all these rituals they have any value, it is only to outlive the rituals. Karma mokshaya karmani. The rituals we do, it is only to outlive the ritualistic part. That is, you gain enough purity, liberal mindset and whatever purification is necessary by performing the discipline undergone during the rituals, and that will take you to the knowledge path, so that you can be relieved. The austerity will take you to the proper path and you will be relieved of the rituals. So, one very important statement is karma mokshaya karmani. That is, you do the karma, but only to outlive the karma and understand that sarva karmani jnane parisamapyate, as Bhagavad Gita says. That the knowledge is the ultimate. And whether you do anything, don't do anything, all these things, finally what is important is the knowledge in you, that you have done this, you have not done this. So it is an whole spiritual sadhana is an internal process. It is not an external process. It is an internal process. There is a talk, it was arranged by Advaita Academy, in which I had spoken about the scientific brilliance of Shankaracharya. The title may be a little different. It's still there in the YouTube. Scientific brilliance of Shankaracharya, or maybe scientific brilliance of Shankaracharya. Because we cannot even imagine, can you think of that about 750 AD or so? Much before the Western philosopher and scientist arrived. This person has gone to the ultimate level of rationality, much more than even the present science has gone. Everything is rational, rational, rational. And living in such a society which was tied down from all sides with all kinds of ropes of ritualistic practices based on various dictum and faith. In such a society, to relieve the society from it and establish the supremacy of the freedom and the fulfillment that knowledge gives, it was unbelievable. So he walked all over the country, from north to south, from south to north, from east to west, from west to east, all over the country, and established the mathas with the same principle, to establish the supremacy of knowledge. Now, this you will find in Mundakopanishad, the 1.2.12. We will come to that, but I am just quoting 1.2.12 Mundakopanishad. There the Upanishad says, Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayan nasti akritakritena tat vijnanatham sa gurumeva abhigachet samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. I think I am correct now. 1.2.12 ठीक है ना जो बताया. परीक्ष लोकान कर्मचितान ब्राह्मणो निर्वेदमायान नास्ति अकृतः कृतेन तद विज्ञानार्थम स गुरुमेवा अभिगच्छेत समित्पाणिः श्रोत्रियम ब्रह्मनिष्ठम. Very important shloka. He says pariksha lokan, plural lokan. That means examining, not by mortgaging your intelligence, your rationality. Apply all your viveka buddhi. Make your buddhi, purify your buddhi. Don't get attached to anything. Leave all the desires which are clouding your buddhi, clouding your mind. Make it absolutely free of all the clutters. Then you can do this examination. Pariksha, do this. Lokan, all the lokas, not only this loka, but other lokas the Shastras are talking about, including Brahma Loka. This Brahma also is an imaginary fiction. That who is the originator of everything. I earlier also said, why Brahma was created? Because we cannot get rid of the causality. From birth we are seeing the whole world is bound by cause and effect chain. So we want a cause for the universe, and we make Brahma as the cause of the universe. And we somehow cut off the causality there and say that Brahma is a causeless. He is Swayambhuhu, means he is not born of anything else. Because again, if Brahma is born of anything else, that becomes the supreme. Then again, he is born of another. It will be never-ending chain. So many times I have explained this, that logical flaw. The logic is within the duality. It cannot take us beyond duality. So, you have to examine all the lokas, whatever has been spoken of in the Vedas. What are the lokas? Karma chitan. That means which the lokas are won by karma. That means do this yaga, you will be taken to this loka. Do the other yaga, you will be taken to Brahma Loka. So they are all karma chitan lokan, which are won over by the karma. All are in the fictitious space, in the imaginary space of the Vedas. You do the yaga and you think satisfied that after the body falls I will go there. You do some other ritual and you think that I will go to that loka. And maybe before your body has died also, in your mind you are going to that loka. That also is possible, and it happens also. So, after examining all these lokas, that they are all causal, means they are all perishable. Nothing is imperishable there. If we want to reach the ultimate, it has to be imperishable, it has to be causeless, it has to be beyond space, time, causality, everything. So you cannot become immortal by going to any of these lokas which are causal. So what will happen to the Brahmana means one who is given to studies, the Vedas, study of the Vedas, those who are given to, they should examine what they are studying. And they should come to some sort of conclusion. What is that? Nirvedamayat. Nirvedam. Nirvedam means they become absolutely udasina. That means having no further desire for this. That means you have to examine the lokas as described in the Vedas so intently with your rationality that you will understand that there is no point in running after them. However much we may say about this Janmantara, this Janma, that Janma, most of our listeners do not have any belief in them because they don't think. They still will hold on to that. So Nirvedam will come only when we have done the investigation properly. That is what we are trying to do through the Satsangs. With what kind of emphasis and rationality we are analyzing. That the Swarga Nachiketa is talking about Swarge Loke. In the Swarga Loka there is no thirst, no hunger. So they are modate. People are very cheerful because there is no thirst, no hunger. Hare, where there is no thirst, no hunger, who will be cheerful? Only the beggars who are suffering from hunger and thirst. If the normal people of the world, if they don't have hunger and thirst, then they will only suffer. They will not be able to eat. They will not be able to drink. This is such a simple rational thinking. Today I had a little difficulty in hunger, so I have to skip my meal. It's a fact. So, the question is that in this world also you are enjoying food and drink so much that you want to reserve the food and drink for the other world also. That all the devas are having very good drink, the kind of wine they are having, we don't get heavenly wine and all. At the same time, you will not have any hunger or thirst. Then what will you do with the wine? You will take bath with the wine? What will you do? Where there is everything, I think Bernard Shaw said that. Every gold is so cheap that you make a razor with the gold and shave your beard with that. Can gold shave as good as the steel will do? It will get blunted in no time. Nirvedamaya, that means they should become absolutely dispassionate about all the promises of the Vedas. All the promises of the Vedas. Why? Na asti akritah kritena. What are they understanding? That by no karma the immortality can be had. The non-changing, imperishable truth cannot be attained by any karma at all, as the result of any karma. Why? It is simple logic. Anything that is attained as a result of an action will be linked to that by causality. So causality cannot produce anything which is beyond causality. So beyond causality, transcending causality is the truth, the consciousness on which the whole causal world is appearing to be. So you have to go beyond causality for that. So at least the Brahmana will understand that the nasti akritah kritena, by all performing all actions, the akrita reality, akrita means which is neither having birth, not having death, which is not artificially manufactured. Anything that is manufactured is parinama srishti. The body is manufactured. Akrita is the Brahmananda is called Akrita Ananda. Why? Because it is not created by our state. We only come to know of it. Our Atma is not Krita, it is Akrita. It is not going from here to there. That Atma, let it be, whatever it is, we are not bothered about it. The real identity is Akrita. It never undergoes any change at all. It cannot be attained through anything. When What we do then by sadhana? We remove all the wrong concepts and everything. And when everything is cleared, the karma is only clearing off the bad karma. And when everything is removed, the ignorance is removed by the so-called knowledge, then whatever remains is the truth. And that one has to discover as the truth. That is the knowledge. So, such an akrita thing which is not a product of any causal chain cannot be attained by any action which is always bound by the causality. I don't know whether I have been clear. I am clear, but whether you have been clear, I don't know. So, what will he do then? Tat vijnanartham sa gurum eva vigachet. Tat vijnanartham. Therefore, what will he do? To get that real knowledge, vijnanartham, that is, what is that akrita? Can it be known? How can it be known? How can it be realized? Can it be realized? So, how will he know? He has to go somebody who has known, he can guide you. So, tad vijnanartham sa gurum eva abhigachet. Eva is there. Eva means to the guru only, not to the policeman, not to the president, not to God even. God will say, if you go to God, God will, if he can speak, he will say that you go to the guru. Find out some guru and go to him. So, gurum eva abhigachet. Abhigachet, you should go with proper manner. How do you go? Samitpanihi. Carry some firewood in your hand. Because those days in the forest they were living and they need firewood. So, you can carry some firewood, whatever is useful for him. Firewood is it could be fruits, it could be something else. Now, if you carry firewood to some guru staying in a city, the firewood burning is prohibited. You cannot even burn. So, whatever is useful for the guru, you carry in your own hand. Samit panihi. Samit means firewood. Panihi means hands. Carrying firewood in hand means carrying something useful for the guru in your hand. What does it mean? Means that guru you should approach with humility. That here is somebody who will take me where I don't know how I will go, I will approach. He will take me along the path which I do not know anything. Generally, we will go to different gurus and listen to them and say that I accept 10% of it, 20% of him and 30% of him. So, who is the guru? I remain the guru. I am analyzing the guru's word and saying that only 50% of him I can accept. So, who is taking the decision whether the guru is true or correct or not? I am saying the guru is correct. We sometimes say also when the guru is saying, correct, as if you are the examiner to say that he is correct. So, one has to go with humility that here where lies the goal of my life, that also he knows better than what I know. This is the very important point. In all other cases, you will go to people, ask, but finally you will decide what you are going to do. But in the case of a spiritual guru, you have to go understanding very well and accepting very well that here is somebody I am approaching who knows about my path, my goal, about myself much better than what I know about myself. Then only it will become effective. So one should approach him with humility, samitpani. And what is the kind of guru? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Now this is samitpanihi is about the shishya. So it is ekavachan, prathama. Whereas Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, it is saying that what kind of gurum, aladvitya, to whom you are approaching. What kind of guru? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam Gurum. The guru who is Shrotriya and Brahmanishtha. Shrotriya means who has understood, who has realized the essence of the Shastras. He will be able to give you the essence of the Shastras. And not only that, to see him, you must know that he is Brahmanishtha. He is given to that truth and truth alone. He may be doing many things, but you have to understand in the ultimate truth. Nishtha means Nisheshana Tishtati. That means there is nothing else left in him, because the whole world has become Brahman for him. The whole world is Brahman for him. There is nothing other than the Brahman. So such a guru one should go. So these are the statements. I will come to this again as we proceed, but this is what the statement is. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayan nasti akritah kritena tad vijnanatham sa gurumeva abhigachet samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Similarly, there will be other, say, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, this is also taken in the Brahma Sutra. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 4.3.22. There it is said that Tatra Vedaha Avedaha Bhavanti. Tatra Vedaha Avedaha Bhavanti. That means Vedas, the Vedic rituals and Vedic dicta, Vedic statements, they have value until you attain the knowledge where everything becomes Abheda. Abheda, not Veda. Abheda I am saying. Abheda means non-differentiated oneness. So until you reach that point, you need the Vedic injunctions and all. But when you reach the knowledge, then there is no karma for you at all. Because karma is based on the reality of the world, reality of the objectude. When you transcend that, then you become absolutely free. What you do, what you don't do, it doesn't matter to you at all. Whatever is needed, you go on doing. But your mind remains completely free. Similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita, you will find that's the first shloka of the 6th chapter. What does it say? Sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyaha. He says he is the sannyasin, you understand. Who does everything without the phalakamana. He is the sannyasin. He is the yogi. Na niragnir na chakriyaha. Niragni means one who has stopped doing the yaga yajna. Sannyasins are not supposed to do only the yaga yajna. That means he has stopped doing the rituals. So if somebody stops doing the rituals, will he become a sannyasin? He says no. If somebody nacha kriyaha, if somebody is not doing any of the karmas prescribed by the Vedas, has he become a sannyasin? No. He says sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyaha. Who is a sannyasi? What is the shloka? Yat karma phalam. Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na chakriyaha. Anashrita karma phalam. He is not fixed on the desire which normally motivates people to work. As far as the karma phala is concerned, any external action will have its own result. They are not talking about this. That you cannot change. Suppose you break the table will break and the broken pieces will be there. Can you change it, renounce it? Nothing can be done about it. All the external actions, they will have their result. They are not talking about that as the karma phala. They are only speaking about karma phala, the internal. Why am I doing the karma? With some internal gain, in our mind, hoping to have some internal gain, hoping to have some happiness, hoping to have some fame or whatever. That is the karma phala which my mind is suffering from. When that desire is gone, anashrita karma phalam, karyam karma karoti yaha, whatever to be done, he goes on doing that. Then he becomes the real sannyasin. Because in his mind he has renounced the karma. He may do much more than the others, but all his karmas, we generally call it kriya. Just like the nature, the sun is doing tremendous, unimaginable amount of karma. Even the earth is going around with tremendous energy. All the plants are growing, the flowers are blossoming. Unimaginable karma is going on all around. But there is no desire anywhere. It just happens naturally as swabhavika, as spontaneous natural process. So that is called the kriya, swabhaviki Jnana bala kriyacha in Shvetashvatara. So it is no more a karma. So these Bhagavad Gita also, it is repeatedly, here also the ritualistic part has been criticized, where Bhagavad Gita says, Krishna says that they are like the Palasha Pushpa, they are like the flowers having no fruit. Veda Vadarata Partha Nanyadasti Tibadinaha. The problem with the ritualists was that they used to think that this is all in life, there is nothing superior, nothing beyond. And Shankaracharya had to establish that no, these are nothing. The real life is to have the knowledge and become absolutely free. You are free, but you don't know that you are free, to understand that you are free. So that was the great contribution of Shankaracharya and why he took to Mundakopanishad. That is why I spoke about it. Now we will start with the Shanti Patha of Mundakopanishad, and next day I will compare the different stories and the shlokas in the different Upanishads. Suppose this kind of Prashnottara is there in this Mundakopanishad, it is Shaunaka is the questioner. In Bhagavad Gita it is Arjuna. In Bhagavatam it is Parikshit. In Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana it is Rama. In Uddhava Gita it is Uddhava. In Kathopanishad it is Nachiketa. In Brihadaranyaka there are many, but most important one is Maitreyi. In Chandogya Upanishad it is Narada, which I have already told also. In Mundakopanishad it is Shaunaka. In Ashtavakra Samhita it is Janaka. Like that. And I will try to give in a PowerPoint or so, the refer to the shlokas, their questions. Just like Kathopanishad, I have given you two questions. One is the first chapter, 20th, that yeyam prete vichikitsa manushe astityeke nayam astiti chaike etad vidya manushishtastyaham tvayaham varanamesha varastritya. That is what happens when the body falls. Some say something is there, some say nothing is there. And the second question, anyatra dharmad anyatra dharmat anyatra asmat krita kritat anyatra bhutatya bhavyatya yat tat pashyasi tadvada. These were the two questions of Nachiketa. In reply to these two, the whole Upanishad is given. Similarly, in this Upanishad, Mundakopanishad, it starts with a great householder, Shaunaka, who approaches the Rishi Angiras. And straight away, he is asking what? Kasminnu bhagavo vidyante sarvamidam vidyatam bhavati iti. O Bhagavan, by knowing what, everything will become known. That was the question. And in reply to that, Angiras is having this Mundakopanishad. Like that, in Chandogya, Narada said that mantravidoham evasmi natu atmavid tarati shokam atmavid. He said to Sanat Kumara that give me knowledge. What do you know? I know everything, but I know only the mantras, only the words. I don't know myself. So I have heard, how do you say that you don't know yourself? Yes, because it is said that Rishis say that when you know yourself, you will be overcoming grief. I suffer from grief. So tell me so that I can get over the grief. Like that, I would like to summarize this, some of the main important stories at least, and giving the shloka number and what was the question on which that particular Upanishad is based. Let me see how we do it. Now today we will just chant the Shanti mantra and stop. Now this Shanti mantra also, in most of the books, half of it is there. The second portion is not taken. But in Swami Sarvananda of Ramakrishna Mission, it is all the 2 shlokas, are 2 mantras are there. I will chant from that. The first mantra is same for all. Om Bhadram Karnebhiः Shrunuyama Devaः.
Om Bhadram Karnebhiः Shrunuyama Devaः.
Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraः.
Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraः.
Sthirairangaistuštuvamsastanubhih.
Sthirairangaistuštuvamsastanubhih.
Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu.
Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu.
Swasti na indro vruddhashravah.
Swasti na indro vruddhashravah.
Swasti na pusha vishvavedah.
Swasti nah pusha vishvavedah.
Swasti nastakshyo arishtanemihi.
Swasti nastarkshyo arishtanemihi.
Swasti no brihaspatir dadhatu.
Swasti no brihaspatir dadhatu.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
This I have already explained in the last series where I have taken the Shanti mantras. It was recorded, it was played here. So I will not go into the Anvaya detail and all. The straightforward meaning is Bhadram Karnebhiः Shrunuyama. They are all in the YouTube, so anybody interested can see it. Bhadram Karnebhiः Shrunuyama Devaha. O Deva. Deva means actually in the Vedic period, all the powerful, the brilliant elements, the powers, they were regarded as Devas. For example, dawn is a Deva, sun is a Deva, Ratri, the darkness is a Deva, the water is a Deva, Vayu is a Deva. So wherever we cannot trace the cause of the natural powers, each natural power was given a position of a Deva, a god, with having its own power. Indra was having lightning as its power, the electricity as its power. The Brihaspati has the knowledge to be given, like that various. So he says that it is a self-addressed prayer again, that is when we are chanting the hymns, our mind should be focused on our mind, that whatever we are saying, that should be our genuine intention. So the first statement is Bhadram Karnebhiः Shrunuyama. O Devaha, all the gods, may we hear with our Shravanendriya, with our ears, may we hear only auspicious sound. Bhadram. Bhadram means auspicious. Bhadram is a beautiful word. What is auspicious you can go into. What makes us, takes away the differential notions from us, which makes us unified with the whole universe. Bhadram means we will not have any divisional, partial, desireful anything. We will be lodged into the oneness of the truth. So, may we hear only auspicious sound. Now, even if the sounds are auspicious, we generate lot of inauspicious sound from within. What are they? The thoughts. Audible sounds may be Bhadram, but our mind is constantly generated. Oh, usko kal marna hai, usko kal sikhana hai, wo hame ye kaha tha, wo kaha tha. What she told me, I will never forget. Till my body is put on the fire, I will never forget it. All those things, the abhadra thoughts are going on. They are also sound. They are not audible sound, that's all. So we should understand, don't try to make all the sounds around auspicious. Even if you try, you will not be able to make it. Try to make your own sound inside auspicious. Bhadram pashyema Akshapir yajatraha. O yajatraha, those who manage, those who are the controller of the yajnas, jaga yajna, please ensure that we see auspicious sights with our eyes. Sthiraihi angaihi tushtuvamsaha tanubhihi Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu. Devahitam yadayuhu. When we are born, the natural powers, they have allotted some lifespan for us. Ayus for us. So, why we are praying that may it be granted that we live the lifespan determined by the natural powers. In what manner? Sthiraihi angaihi tushtuvamsaha tanubhihi. With proper healthy limbs, healthy body, and always praising you, O the Lords, O nature, you can say. If you are not interested in God, at least you have to be interested in nature. That all the powers of nature, may we praise. Why? Tushtuvam saha. Why should we praise? Because we are existing only by the mercy of nature. A small circuit breaking here, next moment I will fall dead. Can you do anything about it? Nothing can be done. All are with the mercy of the natural powers. The guna guneshu vartanta. So generally this is the Shanti mantra, but the second part is Swastina Indro Vriddhashavaha. O Indra of great fame, may there be auspiciousness for us. Swasti, may there be Swasti is used as Shubha. Prosperity they have written. It's not really the material prosperity always, that is also there, but internal health and everything. Swastina Pusha Vishwa Vedaha. O Pusha, the knower of everything. May you, Pusha means one who, Pushti, one who gives us nourishment. So, O the nourisher of everything, give us enough nourishment so that we have prosperity and auspiciousness. Swasti nas tarshyo arishta nemihi. Tarshya, this all nah is coming means for us. May there be swasti for us. From whom? Tarshya means Garuda actually, who eats the snakes. Garuda is supposed to be arishta nemihi, who removes all the evils. So we are praying that may all the evil be removed from us, O Garuda. Actually evil is in our mind again. We have to remove the evil from our mind. There might be enemies outside, but in our mind we can make it free of all enemies. Swastino Brihaspatir Dadhatu. O Brihaspati, because ultimately it is the knowledge, it is the buddhi, and it is the knowledge that will relieve us from all dukkha, all papa, everything. So the real swasti comes from Brihaspati. So he ends with swastina. Swastina Brihaspatir dadhatu. Okay. We will stop.